What do you see as most of Africa's problems as far as uniting? I mean,
I see Africa's problem is that outside people keep on fatiguing the people, you know, and make them can't really get them things together. You know, if it's not this superpower, it's that superpower. But Africa is only a place which part of music exploit, you know.
will your home base though always be Jamaica, or someday would you like to live in Africa?
No, someday I'm be in Africa.
Songs of freedom, that's all I ever had. Redemption song.
Bob Marley indeed is a legend. I mean, the legacy that he left behind would take years and it would never be erased. Can you believe that even in his death, the world continued to enjoy his music art talent? Feel alright. Coming from the motherland, I know Bob Marley loved the motherland so dearly to the extent that even the shows that he wanted to do in Africa, he didn't want to charge. So when I arrived in Jamaica, I'm like, you know what? It's about time to pay that special tribute, just to let you know that he is indeed a legend that left so soon.
How long shall we kill our prophet while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the more. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom?
I mean, we all know him to be called Bob Marley, but his real name is Robert Nesta Marley. He was born on the 6th of February 1945. Bob Marley is a global icon. Bob Marley is a trailblazer of reggae music. One of the things that I really appreciate about my trip to Jamaica is the fact that it's really exposed me to who Bob Marley is. I mean, his story, his legacy, the impact that he made on Jamaica, its culture, and the people.
It's just a part of it. You got to fulfill. Oh, come sing with me, come sing with me. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption song. All I ever had.
Listen, I mean, when I got to Jamaica, I found out Jamaica got 7 national heroes. Sam Sharp, Nanny of the Maroons, one person missing.
Who's missing?
And I was like, where is Bob Marley? I was so heartbroken that why is a legend like this not part of the national heroes or not celebrated as a national hero? I know there's a Bob Marley museum and all of that, but I think if you arrive, the airport, the national heroes, you need to see Bob Marley.
I agree with you completely, and I agree with you so much so that I've been the only member of Parliament to have moved a resolution in Parliament to make him a national hero, which I did on April 5th, 2022. So if you look online, you will see me standing in Parliament, moving a motion and giving the reasons why. Whereas Bob Marley, born in the deep rural area of 9 miles in the parish of St. Anne, is a global icon of peace, freedom, and love. His actions towards humanity and his summons of world leaders to focus on their policy decisions to free people from radical oppression, poverty, and war.
We say 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4, a peace and love.
Bob Marley.
And we say peace and love.
Bob
Once
Marley.
more, we say 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4, a peace and love.
Bob Marley.
I believe he should be a national hero for our country because he has done so much for so many different people. Won peace awards, based on 500 million Africans in Africa and helping to liberate so many countries in Africa through his music and standing up as being a resilient freedom fighter for so many black people around the world and so many Africans around the world. The fact that One Love is translated into almost every single language around the world, and his Exodus album was basically the album of the century. There's so many reasons geopolitically, socioculturally, socioeconomically, why Bob Marley should be made our hero of Jamaica. And even 40 years after his death, his legacy still lives on. The fact that you, as a young person who could be my son, is talking about Bob Marley and the impact that he has made on your life so many generations after should signal to governments and leaders in this country that he is what the world needs, even today.
We all know that Jamaica is the home of reggae, but what you all don't know is Trenchtown is notable for birthing razor music artists like Bob Marley. I mean, that is the most popular name that we all know, but not just Bob Marley, with significant reggae artists like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Collie Smith, Belly Wailer, and Alton Ellis.
Who is the king of reggae? Bob Marley! At the age of 8, he came to Trenchtown.
So we are in Trenchtown.
Yeah.
And what is so popular and famous or so unique about Trenchtown?
The first thing that comes to mind when you think about Trenchtown is Bob Marley. Anywhere around the world you go on is Trenchtown rock. Don't watch that. We come from Trenchtown. Whichever way it goes, it just always comes back to Bob Marley. And then when you come down and you start to research the area, then you realize that it's not just Bob Marley. A lot of the greats from in the early stages came from this particular space.
This is like a mecca of music, a mecca of culture. This is like where so many things have started and been continued to this day. We're in 2024. This place has easily 60 years of history, if not more, of people that have all impacted Jamaica and the world.
All right, so basically you're in the community of Trenchtown, and before it was called Trenchtown, it was known as Trenchpen.
Oh.
These houses you're looking at, they're all known as government yards, and these are called government yards because they were built by the government back in 1940. Woo. So these houses were built in 1940 through 1949, and before that it was a squatter settlement. So most of these squatters, they were coming from different parishes throughout Jamaica, and they came to Kingston looking for jobs, and they came and squat here. Now the original owner for this piece of land is known as Mr. Trench. It's Daniel Power Trench, and he was an Irish Jamaican man, in which Daniel's father, William Power Trench, was original Irishman.
Bob Marley and those guys, for the fact that they were dreadlocks and they were singing this reggae music that nobody really understood. It wasn't an easy thing for them to come through. But this is a place that they would gather and they would do what was good for them, what they loved, which was their music.
This place?
This place.
What is this place called?
This is the Culture Yard, Trenchtown Culture Yard.
This is the home of Bob Marley and many more legends here in Trenchtown. And this is the government yard that Bob Marley sings about.
What do you mean the home of Bob Marley?
Well, Bob Marley left from Niamey St. Ann when he was 11 years old, I should say, to came here to live with his mom.
Okay. So he was living in here?
Yeah.
When we used to sit in a government yard
in Trenchtown. So this is the government yard?
This is the government yard that Bob Marley sings
This is Trenchtown?
This is Trenchtown. Here we got Bob Marley's very first motor vehicle.
Bob Marley's first ever vehicle?
Yeah, man.
Whoa! Bob's first ever vehicle?
Very first vehicle. And this is when we used to sell him records back in those days,
So is it a place where it's only Bob Marley that used to stay here, or there are different people that were living in here?
Many legends came out of Trenchtown,
I'm talking about this particular compound.
Right here now, we got Tata, that's Bob Marley's mentor. He also wanted to taught Bob to play a guitar. He also wanted to write No Woman a Cry also for Bob Marley.
So tell us more about This whole place?
Yeah. Bob Marley and many more people used to live in this yard. This is called a U-block, you know? So it's more like a tenement yard. This is what Bob Marley and Jacob Miller sings about him say. Jet class can live in a tenement yard, too much watch it. So this is it also, you know? You got Bob's statue. The statue was built from a guy also from Trenchtown. And it was Bob in Dortmund, Germany, on its first concert.
It was made out of what?
It was made out of concrete and foam.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we got Bob Marley kitchen, bedroom.
Kitchen and bedroom?
Yeah, man.
He cooks and sleep there at the same time?
Yeah, it used to be a kitchen also. This is where people used to cook, but Bob and his mentor I tell you about, Vincent Ford, turned to a bedroom. And here it goes. Robert Nesta Marley. He was born on February 6, 1945. Bob Marley, and he was born in 9 Mile Senton. But Bob Marley and his mother came here to live in Trenchtown when Bob Marley was 11 years old. There was 1956. And Bob mom, name is Stella Booker. When they came here and Bob was living on an S block. That's on 2nd Street. Bob Marley met Vincent Ford, taught him to play a guitar. But at the age of 15 years old, Bob Marley's mom got a job to work in Delaware. She did bring Bob Marley to Delaware there, you know. But after a couple months there, Bob Marley came back here in Trenchtown to live with his mentor. That's Vincent Ford. This used to be his kitchen. Bob Marley and his mentor turned to a bedroom. This is where Bob Marley sing, "Three Little Birds." Bob Marley said, "Rise up this morning, smiling with the rising sun. Three little birds, pitch by my doorstep, singing."
This is the doorstep?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And this is where we sing, "I want to love you and treat you right. I want to love you every day and every night."
Does it mean that the girlfriend used to come and visit him and got inspired?
Yeah, got inspired, Kyle. Really, reason why, Kyle, it's like a shelter, as he said, we share a shelter, a single bed.
Okay.
There's a single bed that Bob Marley, that's the single bed also Bob Marley sings about.
So this is will you say this is the exact room that Bob stayed?
Yeah, man. Bob sleep in that room. Bob sleep on that bed.
And then Georgia would make the fire light.
Bob Marley sings about Georgie. Georgie is real. That Bob sings about. This man recently died. I have met this man. Georgie would make a fire light, lagoon, burning through that night. And we will cook cornmeal, porridge, for which I share with you. Bob said his fear was his only carrot, so he's beating his job and pushing on through. And asked his king, I last and the first, so now I'm gone. But I'm gone, and the king said, everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right.
At what point did Bob Marley left Trenchtown?
Well, I heard he was around 27, 20, going to 28 years old. He left Trenchtown. Moved to the museum.
That's his last residence.
No, the museum is when he got rich. They said he start making money. So he not really left Trenchtown, I would say. They just give him a better house up top, you know, but he was back and forth. You see?
What I'm seeing is super cool, man. They actually take him into a room that Bob Marley, used to stay. His mentor, Tata, almost every room, and you can see what really happened in there, and it's super cool to see. But because of the protection of information, and in order for you to come in here to see it yourself, we're not allowed to film in there. But the Ghana boy, you know me? Ah, yeah, let me. Ah, nice one, man. He knows me, bro. Yeah, you see, I can stay in French now because I got someone here.
Welcome to Jamaica. Welcome to the home of Robert Nesta Marley. This is 56 Hope Road, where he lived and had a studio before he passed on. And it's now the home of the Bob Marley Museum. Well, this is what houses a great part of his life and his legacy. All the treasures inside, the artifacts represent who he was as a Rastaman, as a musician, as a father, as an international superstar. A lot of it is here. So the house actually preserves his legacy. It was set up by his wife and his family after he passed in 1986, and people travel from all over the world to just come and feel the vibe and get a feel of what Bob Marley represented while he was here.
Was it the same house that Bob Marley was shot in?
This is the house he was shot in 1976 at the back, in the kitchen. He was here preparing to do a big concert, the Smile Jamaica concert, and one night after rehearsals, some gunmen just ran in and shot him. You know, luckily, fortunately, he survived and still went on to do the concert.
Fun thing about music, when it hits you feel no pain. So hit me with music.
His philosophy, everything that he represented as a Rastaman, he was a revolutionary, but he was someone who wanted the world to understand the meaning of love and unity and peace. He represented what His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie represented, you know, in terms of the fact that no one race has that authority to stand superior over any other race. So that's what Bob Marley represented for all of us, a philosophy of love, a philosophy of life, a philosophy of equal rights and justice.
It's rather unfortunate that cameras are not allowed in the museum, but I just want to show you around a little bit. These are all the children of Bob Marley, and that's Bob Marley himself with the inclusion of Haile Selassie. I think Bob Marley really adored him, and I love the fact that Jamaicans are really celebrating the empire in here. And as an African, being here, it feels so good to see that Africans that left Africa, Africa never left. You know, the bracelet, everything
yes,
shows
thank you.
You love Africa
thank
with
you.
all your heart.
Yes, I'm African.
I mean, wow, a message to Africans across the globe.
Africa does not mean that you were born on the continent. Africa means that Africa was born in you. I and I are African people anywhere we are.
Do you know that Jamaicans celebrate Bob Marley even on his birthday, which is called the Bob Marley Day? It's really exciting to be part of this whole celebration this year in Jamaica.
I say, no sun will shine in my day today. No sun will shine. The high alone moon won't come out to play.
Why is it called the Bob Marley Beach?
This is where he used to come with Alan Skillcode. He used to kick a lot of football out here back in the day. He spent a lot of time out here.
Yeah, what would normally happen back in the days that Bob would leave Woodward Road. We would drive out to Bob Marley Beach,
right.
come out here, juggle some football, play some football, swim, exercise along the beach, and then we'd leave here now and go up to Cane River. That's why I'm singing that, the song that
Up a Cane River to wash my dread. Yes.
After them leave Bob Marley Beach, go Cane River, and then go back to Woodward Road.
But before, which means this beach had a name before Bob Marley.
Yeah, I don't know what the name was before, but he got the name because of it's a place that he used to frequent.
Yeah. Come sing with me. Won't you help to sing? These
Bob Marley was an activist in terms of human rights. He was an activist in terms of your own destiny. He was an activist in being a vanguard for the treatment of people and better treatment of people. And he did it peacefully.
Yeah.
You know, he did it not with violence, but he made you think about how to better your lives. And I think his lyrics should be taught in universities in a way that people understand how to move in a direction that brings forth progress.
But why do you think
he hasn't been made a national
so
hero?
Today?
It's because of years of colonial instruction, I think, on the Jamaican psyche in terms of our own Victorian period of what is morality. And they can't see past that. They can't see the fact that him smoke herb and him probably have locks. But that is who we are. It's a part of our identity. The fact that you have Marcus Garvey as a national hero and a lot of Rastafari uses Marcus Garvey teachings should tell you that the fact that this man spoke about up you mighty race and a number of things and emancipate yourself from mental slavery, those were teachings of Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
He's a national hero. Why Bob can't be one?
I think Bob Marley was a prophet. If you listen to some things that he said in those days and it's happening today, I'm like, and he's from
So they're
Jamaica.
flying in their spaceships?
You know, I feel like he was way ahead. You know, because if you check, like he was so young, like 36 years old when he passed on, and look at the things that he was able to come up with. I think it's about time.
Have you made a lot of money out of your music?
Money. I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
Do you have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.
And that is who Bob Marley is. And even today, I mean, today is the global premiere of One Love.
So after visiting Trenchtown today, going to Bob Marley Beach, I felt like it's about time to end it with
a Bob Marley movie.
And trust me, after watching this, I feel like now diving into the life of Bob Marley.
It's crazy. Like the movie, oh yeah. Have you watched the movie? Because it was insane. I loved it so much.
One thing that really stands out for me, the fact that Bob Marley always wanted to go to Africa.
Oh yeah, he really wanted to go to Africa.
And he finally made it to Zimbabwe.
And he spoke so highly of Africa, and he wanted to settle in Africa after everything was said and done. Just moving to Africa.
As part of the movie, he said one thing, that going back to Africa is not all about the money, but it's about the people.
Wow, that was deep. I feel like we've learned a lot about Bob Marley, you know? I feel like I love him even more after the movie.
You know, like today I actually did an entire story about Bob Marley and watching.
We went to Bob Marley Beach.
I was in Trenchtown. I saw where Bob Marley grew up. I saw the first house that Bob Marley's mom actually stayed in. So it's like watching the movie felt like, I mean, this is what I saw today. So it's really cool to see this. And listen, I'm so glad that I watched this movie today. One thing that I really love about Bob Marley's songs is the fact that he continued to preach love, peace, and unity.
Bob, is the message of Rastafari that you should go back to Africa?
Yes, and that the earth must rule by Africa. Forward. One government. Forward, not back, forward.
Yeah, go forward to Africa,
yes.
Not back. Do you think that will ever happen? Do you really believe that will happen?
Yeah.
Africa! Oh my goodness, I love you guys!
That's all I ever had. Redemption song. Redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental